Alright guys, Leo back with Ninja. We've got another video and today we're going to be talking about the spine and treatment of the spine. So I want to work on the lumbar and the thoracic spine today, and we'll use this model to, I guess, teach you a little bit about what or how we can treat and how the treatment can be effective here. So I want to be working in this groove here, kind of between the vertebrae. You've got your spinous processes and your transverse processes, and we've got this little channel, I guess, this corridor called the laminar groove. And what we can do with treatment is sink right in to this corridor and connect in with all of the different muscles that, I guess, connect into the spine. And it is very central to the body, the most central piece of the body, and a lot of the different muscles connect and attach and articulate the spine in different ways: flexion, extension, lateral flexion and rotation. So there's a lot going on, and there are a lot of muscles that attach into this unique part of the body. So from a superficial level and a much deeper level as well, there are heaps of different depths of muscle tissue that we can affect by channeling a line through that corridor. So to start, we can just palpate, and obviously we know the spine is central to the body, so it's pretty easily identified with some palpation here. You can really connect into the spinous processes here of Ninja, so I know just to stick to one side of it. And I'll start my dive in right alongside that spine. So what I want to do first is just sink in, not move, or I guess we're moving towards the table, not up the spine yet. And we'll just give the body some time to, or some consent that the body can adapt to this pressure that I'm putting in. So feel a little bit of flicking of some of the muscles in here in the lower back, and just giving the body some time for it to adjust. So a nice consistent pressure goes a long way when making that first contact with the body. Ninja, how's that one feeling in the back, mate?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, just that initial bit, like you're saying, you've got to adjust, calm down, receive, accept, surrender. So it's part of that process that you're going through as a receiver.
Yeah.
To know that it's not a threat, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those kind of things it takes time, doesn't it? You can't just rush that bit.
That's it, yeah.
It takes time. So.
It does, man. All that good stuff when it comes to receiving. So yeah, the spine can get, I guess, stuck in its range, or in terms of its ability to go through its range, and because of all those different attachments from all the muscles that come in here and all the fascia that can get a bit bound up, and our quality of movement or range of movement in the spine can get diminished as a result. So if you're feeling a bit stiff and stuck in the spine in any sort of direction, it just might be worth getting a nice clean out of that spinal line here. And so yeah, once I'm in deep enough, even just using, I can kind of feel, even before I start to put some pressure, as in directional pressure up the spine, I can already feel the body giving way, I guess, under the pressure here, and it's actually helping me guide my movement already without me having to really think or do much about it. So I really want to stay connected to the spine. What I'm doing, Leo, I don't know if you can see here, mate, but I'm staying connected to this part here, and I'm kind of scooping away from the spine like that as I go up this groove, and just dragging that fascia and those attachments and just melting through them. So creating some tension, grabbing that fascia, stretching it through, and just giving some opportunity for the spine to find some range and some motion once we finish the treatment. What it also helps to do is mobilize the spine as well. So each of those vertebral levels is a joint, and we're mobilizing the joints as we kind of push into each vertebrae and scoop away from it. So any sort of tension or stiffness, again, not only from a fascial level or a muscle level, where even from the skeleton we're able to mobilize some joints as we work up the spine. So Ninja, how's that pressure so far, man?
Yeah, it's really good. Like, just the pace is perfect. So it's like you can really receive it, and you really know that it's in deep, and there's things changing, and like I can feel every vertebra, but every millimeter of the vertebra, and that when you were talking about mobilising as well, I had a real sense of, you know, pushing into it and kind of letting it
so even from
move a bit.
my kind of feedback here as well, like I'm really tuned in right now to the different contacts on the vertebrae. Like, so you've got the spinous process, that bit that sticks up towards me of the spine, and then, you know, deeper you can kind of work into some of those grooves or into that channel and sort of align the pressure and the contact with that kind of gradient of the vertebrae as it, I guess, moves away from the spinous process. And yeah, just contacting as I work up the spine, different bony attachments, different bony prominences, and just, yeah, keeping in contact with those, essentially cleaning those surfaces. So yeah, as I was saying, like I find this treatment particularly handy for those who, yeah, just feel a bit stiff in the back or in the spine, having trouble accessing, you know, ranges of motion, whether forward bending or, you know, lifting up, or if you've got like a kind of achiness through the spine or the back. It's just getting deep and affect some change of the tissue. So, I mean, in this lumbar section of the spine, you've got your lats are pretty much the most superficial level, and they kind of turn from more muscle tissue into connective tissue and fascia as they align themselves into the spine here, into the hip. And then obviously underneath that you've got your spinal erectors. So these kind of chunky bits of muscle you'll see on Ninja's back here, they play a big part in stabilising the lumbar spine and sort of facilitating extension in the spine as well.
Oh, that's good, man.
And then, yeah, good stuff, man. And then, I mean, deeper to that, you know, directly on the vertebrae, even attaching, you know, one vertebrae to the vertebrae above or a couple of vertebrae above that, you've got these smaller muscles, even multifidus and the rotators, rotatories, depending how you know.
I thought it was.
How do you say those ones?
I thought it was rotators for 23 years. And then 2 years ago,
you got to put
rotatores.
the Latin twist on it, Ninja.
Yeah, no, I just never knew. Or maybe I forgot. And
Now he's bilingual.
Yeah, I'm fucking Ninja's bloody anatomy. I just know it. I'm like an anatomy book.
Yeah, so we can get like literally as deep as those levels by staying deep and connected, and you know, you'll find as time goes on, as you work up the spine, you'll get a sense of the body and those superficial tissues like the fascia, the lat fascia, the erector spinae fascia kind of melting out of the way, and you're able to just stay deeper to some of the other stuff that is harder to get into, you know, with just regular myotherapy or massage as opposed to the MMT style.
So thorough. But like you said, this is good for just general stiffness and soreness. But but if you got chronic pain, this getting into that, you know, these real levels that have been stuck for years, perhaps, and are the root cause of, you know, the pain and frustration that you might have. So yeah, it can shift really old stuckness blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so thorough.
Yeah, so thorough, in fact, that, you know, we could just sit on this spine and work up to here in one session. Like even on one side, it can take up to half an hour, 45 minutes even, just getting through this sort of half of the spine up to here. If it is something chronic especially, and it's been years and it's just taken years to sort of lock down and become that dense, it's going to take a while to unlock that sort of stuff too. So a nice slow and thorough approach goes a long way when unblocking old stuff. So I've just kind of jumped up onto another vertebral level here, really connecting into that spinous process. And I don't know if it's picked up on camera, but just these little micro shifts that I'm doing again, just like scooping down and away, even just shifting, you know, kind of jolting towards the spine that way, mobilizing that joint. Sometimes a bigger scoop is needed away from the spine, but still ensuring that the sort of back of the elbow is, you know, dead against that spinous process of the vertebrae. Boom, we're coming up to another one. Really angling my pressure diagonally towards the spine. Even a bit of like a twist into the fascia like this as I kind of pull away. Ninja, how's the money, man? How we doing?
Yeah, good. I think I'm through.
Yep.
I'm probably through the hard.
Through that part of the journey,
yeah. Hard bit of the forest, thick bit of the forest.
So yeah, we're probably just out of the lumbar spine, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've got a bit more to go.
A little bit.
For the lumbar spine anyway. But yeah, this stuff, because it is a long process, can be a journey. You got to buckle up and kind of sit through it and experience the different sensations that come up on each vertebrae. And I don't know if you're getting any, was there any referral anywhere, Ninja, up or down the spine, or along out to the side, just pretty localized?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But just how thorough it is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, really stress how important it is to kind of stay deep and stay connected, you know. When in doubt with these sorts of treatments, you know, go deeper.
That's good.
Yeah, I reckon these twists are where it's at too, Ninja, man. They just
Yeah.
add a different dynamic to the treatment, man.
Yeah.
You're just able to kind of lock into the fascia.
Yeah. You're dancing with the tissue, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a boogie, man.
Yeah, it is. It's how to weave into it and how to get it to encourage out from where it's stuck into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an art.
It is, man. It is a dance.
Yeah.
You kind of realise maybe which way to turn or step, man, and
Yeah.
it becomes quite intuitive and
Yeah.
yeah. As we hop onto another level of the spine and the vertebrae. So yeah, we're probably just in line with your bottom rib here. So I reckon we're at the bottom of that thoracic vertebrae, vertebral column. So probably T12 here.
Yeah.
I think it's 12 here, 12 of the thoracic vertebrae, yep.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of at the rib level, there can be some sensation or referral kind of felt out the side to the ribs as well at times, but we're just going to continue the dance up the spine, weaving our way between the joints, mobilizing the joints and the muscles. So yeah, you know, we spoke about the lats that come in here, the rectus spinae, the you know, the rotators or the multifidus muscles. I probably butchered that one again. And then you've got some other muscles now that kind of come off the spine. I think serratus posterior, inferior, kind of fans like some fingers into the ribs. So we're just contending with new bits of fascia from those different muscle tissues that we're encountering as we go up the spine. So positionally, like especially with an elbow, pretty easy to just sit here, find my, I guess, leverages, and it's pretty safe for my body as well. I feel pretty connected and grounded through my feet up into the table. And I can just really focus on staying connected as opposed to worrying about positionally where my body is once I've sorted that out. And it's just how now can I affect change on the tissue with the client on the table. So yeah, I guess through the thoracic spine as well, the vertebrae do get a bit smaller, particularly the spinous processes. You can see these big ones here on the lumbar spine. They get a bit smaller as you go up. So, you know, my elbow stays the same size. So, in fact, in some people, bodybuilders, or you know, with a lot of posterior chain development, you can get really thick erectors through here. Even the lower traps kind of come in here as well. So, can be even more denser tissue through here as well with smaller vertebrae. So you just be mindful to stay deep, stay connected, doing the same thing, but a bit less surface area to touch onto with the vertebrae. So just work a bit smarter through here. Ninja, how's that spot, mate?
Yeah, there's a bit in there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a, but it's okay. You kind of, because it's so slow, I can kind of.
Yep. Yeah. You kind of got through the lumbar spine, man. We've been here for a few minutes now, and
yeah,
you've kind of you're well on the way through the process at the moment. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the point, if anybody's watching this, they know just how slow it is and deliberate, and just how we don't rush. Just give the body what it needs, and that's the important message to take away.
Yeah.
Don't kind of inject onto the person what you want to do. You kind of you're waiting for the tissue to respond, and you're going with the flow of it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you wait long enough, typically you'll kind of feel the tissue melt away. It'll almost guide you in the direction that it needs to be guided, so long as you're sticking to your guideline, which is the spine, which is that groove that you kind of already know that's defined by the skeleton itself. So there is that channel that you're trying to dig into, but allow the tissue to melt under the pressure, and let that sinking of the tissue guide you into the new space. So yeah, stay present, stay deep, stay connected, and clean through the trench. So, I mean, we can take this up as far as the spine goes, you know, all the way to the neck or the head, or wherever the client kind of has the tension or where they're most jammed. But I think that's a pretty good explanation of how we kind of dig through the spine. So I've kind of just jumped up now away from the spine, staying connected to the ribs, and I'm just sweeping away that tension or that waste, some of that waste product that we took away from the spine, and we're just flushing it back into the muscle tissue, into the bloodstream, and the body should take care of the rest.
Yeah, it knows what to do.
These long lines can feel super therapeutic as well, so it's a good way to end the treatment. Straight into the upper traps. All right, so that concludes spine treatment. If you're a bit achy, a bit stiff through that area, and you need some more range in your spine, some good quality of movement, stretching, movement can help as well, but a really deep elbow connected to the spine, digging out some of that fascia, that connective tissue, unknotting some of the stickiness through there can be just what you need. So come to MMT, book in, and we'll sort you out.
Like, subscribe, do one of our courses. You won't be disappointed. You're done.